Prof, let me come to you. For the issue of security in that particular election, a lot of people had concerns about the issue of security.
Yes.
Do you think that our elections are militarized? And in this particular case, do you think the level of deployment of military operatives help or hampered?
There are two things. It was desirable, even if it was not the ideal. If you know the history of elections in Nigeria, you will not blame the security officers being there in full force to make sure that nobody misbehaves, that no adverse events take place, that ballot boxes were not previously stuffed, that nobody snatches ballot. So from my point of view, the security was very high, quote unquote, militarized, but my view is that it was desirable. That's what we wanted, to show the world that we can actually conduct a free and fair election. And from all points of view, I think it was a free and fair election.
Interesting. But come to think of it, I'm jittery when I see weapons.
Yes.
And in that particular environment,
yes,
in a democratic setting,
yes, seeing
military people
yes,
brandishing weapons and running after people, do you think it sends a good signal down anybody's system, any voter?
We're learning. We're learning. We have history of all this violence at polling booths, and you know you're going there to vote, and you know if you don't cause any trouble, if you don't snatch boxes, you are not in any trouble. And by the way, give it to the security officers. Many of them were very friendly. They were not there to intimidate. Don't do this, you don't get into trouble. And I think I wouldn't fault that. But with time, we will learn, we will know that you're going to an election booth to vote and nothing else. And with time, I'm sure the security level will be reduced.
Tell me about the comportment of security operatives. Do you think that was reasonable?
Yeah, well, personally, I think the large number of security personnel was necessary because before this election, there was a lot of violence. In fact, this is one of the elections we've had in recent time that has been preceded with so much violence. And some people were even scared of being attacked at the polling unit. I can tell you that several voters we spoke to were actually relieved as to the security at the polling unit. In fact, somebody said something that, look, in his polling unit, you had a lot of civil defense, officers. He says, no, please, we would not award military, because people were also afraid. But one thing I will say is that because of 2015 general elections, it's not staggered. We run it across the country. INEC and the security agencies need to ensure that we're able to deploy security agencies in a sustainable manner. We had about 12,000 policemen deployed to about 500,000 voters indirectly who were actually to cast their votes. Now what that means is that if you have to extrapolate that data to the general population, we would need about 1.7 million policemen to have the same level of policing that we had in Ekiti yesterday across the country, and we don't have that number of policemen. So it's not practical, sustainable. So we have to find a way of achieving the elections with fewer security agents.
Right, interesting. Just a moment. We've been following what we've been talking about on the program from the beginning. Some of the candidates they're talking about the process. One of them actually has been talking also, and he has said something about the winner of this particular poll is the man that came third in the order of the result is the Labour Party candidate, Michael Bande. Let me allow you to hear him for a moment, and we come back on the program.
You see, life has just got easier. You stay connected to Channels TV, where news and innovations are shaping our world. Simply log on to channelstv.com to get the breaking news. Browse the homepage according to what matters to you. Tap on the extended coverage of business, sports, politics, lifestyle, infotech, entertainment, health, world news, and lots more. Click on the live link and see the news in real time. Do you want to watch the latest video of the day? It's just a click away. Friend us on Facebook, YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Google+, participate in Channels TV poll, and share your comments. It's a website you can talk to. Your voice will be heard. Channelstv.com. The news at your fingertips.
There was a justification in bringing, I mean, a huge number of law enforcement agents, you know. Well, hopefully our democracy will mature to a point where we will not need to bring soldiers out of the barrack just because we want to hold elections. But I guess INEC didn't have a choice. All those who did that didn't have a choice. And regardless of what anybody would say, nobody has been able to come up with any evidence of elections being rigged. So I would want to say that the elections were free and fair. And if elections were free and fair, it would mean that the people have spoken. I mean, some people have said money was spent by some party, by some candidate. That's another issue altogether. But did the people actually vote? You know, people voted. The turnout was impressive, going by what used to happen. And obviously, I want to say that except we are looking for any reason to cause unnecessary delay and all that, we need to move on. It's about Ekiti first. And we should do whatever we have to do to ensure that there is peace and stability in the state. So I accept the results of the elections, and I want to, at this point, really congratulate the governor-elect, His Excellency Chief Oladele Pt2, and look forward to well-meaning Ekiti sons and daughters working with him. And I want to believe he means well for Ekiti State, and I want to believe that all those who mean well for Ekiti State will look forward to working with him. Because like I said, it's not about any individual, it's not about any political party. It's about overriding public interests of the people of Ekiti State. And if
well, that's the Labour Party candidate, Opeyemi Bamidele, talking about the result and congratulating the PDP candidate. Well, it's unfortunate that's how much time can permit us on the program. Well, I would love you to give your last thought. Well, Professor Oladele Olaofe and Abiodun Ajijola, both of you have done incredibly well on the program. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, on behalf of the crew here in Ekiti, so we've monitored the election, we've given you an understanding of what the election in Ekiti State is all about. I want to thank you for being a part of the program. My name is Shewa Kimale. Bye for now.